Hey everyone, M1 Shadow here. What we have cooking here is some of my delicious Italian meatballs, and today I am going to show you how to make these. So stay tuned and let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is get all our ingredients mixed together. What I have is a 2-pound mixture over here of 80-20 beef and some pork. Basically what you just want to do is get yourself some 80-20 chuck and a pound of pork, a pound each. And that takes care of our meat mixture. We're going to go throw some black pepper in here. I'm not measuring, probably about maybe 2 teaspoons worth. I'm going to throw our salt in, and again, I'm not measuring, but if I had to guess, I'd say probably about 2 or 3 teaspoons worth of that. We're going to throw in about maybe 2 tablespoons worth of parsley. About 3 tablespoons worth of Parmesan cheese, and you want to use a really good quality Parmesan cheese too. I do want to add that. To be honest with you, probably go about 4 tablespoons of that is what I'm doing. Throw in some good quality Italian breadcrumbs, probably about maybe 4 to 5 tablespoons of that. I'm going to throw in 1 egg and 2 cloves of fresh garlic. If you want to use minced garlic, it's not the end of the world, but if you really want the true Italian experience, you got to go with fresh garlic, in my opinion. Now we're going to get in there and mix it up really good and make sure all these ingredients are combined together. We're now going to start forming our meatballs. How big you want to go is really personal preference. I like them medium size. I don't like them too big, but I don't like them small either. And, right about there is about the size that I prefer to do them. So we're going to make up all our meatballs now. Now we have all our meatballs made up, and we're on to the next step. We now have our pot ready. It's on medium heat with some olive oil in there, and we're going to start putting our meatballs in there. This is about the most amount of meatballs you want to put in the pot. You don't want to put too many in there. If you have to make a couple separate batches, that's fine. All we're looking to do over here is just brown these in the olive oil, so these really shouldn't be in here more than 7 to 10 minutes, at the most, because we're going to finish the cooking process after this. This is just more or less just to get them browned on the outside. You're also not going to want to throw out the olive oil or the juice in here. You're going to want to leave it because that's going to be crucial for our next step in this process. So now after about 10 minutes, we have these browned to where I want them. We're now going to pull them out and put them on a plate and then move on to our next step. So now we're going to start making our gravy, or you may want to call it sauce, whatever. What I did was I kept the juices that we used to make the meatballs, I kept it in there, and we just threw in another clove of garlic. We're going to let that simmer here for about maybe 30 seconds to a minute. You now want to throw in 28 ounces of a good quality crushed tomato. I personally like Tutti Russo crushed tomatoes. This is the one that actually has the basil in it. And I'm going to lower the heat here to about like medium low. And I want to get in there and mix it up. Got to use a wooden spoon if you want it to be Italian. You want to throw in 6 ounces of tomato paste. I then like to fill that 6-ounce can with water and throw that in there. We're also going to throw in about maybe half a cup of wine. A red wine or even a Zinfandel will work good. You now want to stir this up really good. And don't worry about this being too watery. Trust me, this will thicken up, especially with the meats in there. We're now going to drop our meatballs in there. We're now going to turn this up to medium heat and get our meatballs all mixed in. And at this point, you're going to let this come to like a light boil. Probably take about another 5-10 minutes or so. So here we are about 10 to 15 minutes into the cooking process on medium heat, and you can see the sauce is bubbling pretty good. At this point, we're going to go ahead and turn it down to low heat. We're going to cover it, and we're just going to let it simmer like that for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And our meatballs are done. This is after simmering for a couple of hours on the stove. I'm telling you, these are probably going to be some of the best meatballs you'll ever have. Go ahead and put them over some spaghetti, or if you want to do what I'm going to do, put them on some Italian bread with mozzarella cheese, run them in the oven and make some meatball subs. Anyway, you've got to try these, and as always, I do want to thank you all for watching, and have a good one.